Well, hi there and welcome to Monday the 14th of September as we begin to look at Psalm 27. It says, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Can you own and affirm that statement? That being true, the psalmist says rhetorically, who shall I fear? If the Lord is my light and salvation, who shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Fear is a dark shadow that covers us and ultimately imprisons us within ourselves. Fear can actually paralyze us from making decisions. And everyone has been a prisoner of fear at some time or another. Maybe fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood, uncertainty, fear of sickness or even death. But we can conquer fear by trusting in the Lord who brings salvation. If we want to dispel the darkness of fear, let us remember with the psalm writer that the Lord is my light and my salvation. In verse 2, when evil men advance against me to devour my flesh, when my enemies and my foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. See, his confidence is in God. He knows that God is the ultimate power in his life, the ultimate rescue party for him, his ultimate salvation. In verse 3, though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I ask of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I might dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. This is kind of one of the best sentences or paragraphs that you will ever read. We speak today about what we're passionate about. The psalmist's passion is to know God and live closely with him. David's greatest desire was to live in God's presence each and every day of his life. And sadly, this is not always our desire. We might claim to be believers, but this is not always our passion and our desire. What do you most desire? Do you look forward to being in the presence of the Lord? Well, we should. In verse 5, for in the day of trouble, and let me say that the day of trouble will come. Here it's assumed that it will come. In the day of trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle and set me high on a rock. When my head is exalted above the enemies who surround me, at his tabernacle I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. Hear my voice when I call, O Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me. We often run to God when we experience difficulties. But David sought God's guiding presence every day of his life. When troubles came his way, he was already in God's presence and prepared to handle any test. Believers can call to God for help at any time. But how short-sighted it is to call on God only when trouble comes. Many of our problems could be avoided or handled far more easily by seeking God's help and direction before they became troubles or problems. In verse 8, he says, my heart says of you, seek his face. Your face, Lord, I will seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me or forsake me, O God my Saviour. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. What encouraging words they are. Many people have had the sad experience of being abandoned by their father or mother. And look, I think all of us, to some extent, may have had a level of disappointment in our parents. And, of course, broken homes differences of belief, addiction to drugs or alcohol, even psychological isolation can leave children broken and hurt. But God never leaves us. He never throws us aside. He can direct us to people who can take on that role of mother or father for us. His love is sufficient for all our needs. I remember hearing a testimony from Andrew Scipione, our former police commissioner. He was saying that his father died when he was 14. Soon after that, he became a Christian, and he credits the Lord with providing for him a group of men in the church who provided that father figure and guidance that allowed him to move forward to a life of success. Verse 11 says, "Teach me your way, O Lord. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desire of my foes, or false witnesses rise up against me, breathing out violence. I am still confident in this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong. Take heart and wait for him." David knew from his experience what it meant to wait for the Lord. He had been anointed king at age 16, but didn't know actually become king until he was 30. And during that period, he was chased through the wilderness by a jealous King Saul. David had to wait for that to be fulfilled, but David waited in hope on the Lord. Lamentations 3 verse 24 says, "I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him." Bye for now.